Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Ellarie here, of course. This is, I don't know what's called this look. Purple with glitter, I don't know. It's kind of similar to the look I just did like a couple videos ago with Vegas Nay's Stardust palette, except I tweaked some things and I used completely different products. Like none of the shadows or the lip products are the same as they were in that tutorial. So even though it's similar, you guys want to go ahead and give this a look. See, I hope you guys enjoy it either way. Like I said, completely different stuff. I was just kind of in a purple mood. I'm always in a purple mood, so I think purple looks good on anybody. So why not do 185 different tutorials on purple? Yeah, let's move on to this tutorial though. So as I mentioned in a previous video or the previous talk through video that I did, I've been having to do my eyes a little bit darker because they are severely uneven. So to make them darker and to make them even, I was using Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Palette, just the powder because I didn't have a pencil. But that very next day, I got a new pencil by Hourglass Cosmetics. It's in the shape of like an equilateral triangle. That's the best way I can describe it. And it's a twister, and the other side, of course, with most pencils, has a spoolie. And this color is in dark brunette. So I'm just going to use this to line my eyes real quick. Well, first I'm going to actually prime my face. I like to put this on first so that I can get like all up in my eye area without messing up my brows. Now I'm just going to brush my brows up and then line them with the pencil. I only twist it up a little bit and then I just use the edge of the pencil to line my brows. So you can either use this pencil to just outline your brows or you can use them to fill them in as well. I just like to fill in my brows with a powder because it helps me prolong the use of my pencil. I can just, do half and half with the powder since we all know powder lasts much longer than these brow pencils. I'm just going to use this lighter shade of the ebony powder from the Anastasia palette to fill in my brows, and once I have them filled in, I'm going to use MAC's 195 brush and Studio Fix concealer to clean them. Now I'm just topping them off with some brow gel. They are not perfect, but we gotta admit they are much better than they were before. Now I am moving on to my foundation. I am working on a drugstore video, so stay tuned for that. I do have it coming. It's just taking a little bit longer to film. So until then, we're just going to stay with our handy dandy MAC Studio Fix fluid. I always apply this with a beauty blender and hydrate my face a little bit before blending it into my face and neck area. Now, if you wear a scarf when you do your makeup, like I am, like to protect your hair or whatever, make sure you have it pushed back, like all the way until like you can see a lot of your hair. Because I can't tell you how many times I've seen and I've done it to where I have like a perfect line separating my foundation from my hairline. So make sure if you wear something like a headband or anything to protect your hair that you push it back really far so that you can't see any of your scalp, which for me is hella far because we all know I got that side head. Where my side head is at. And for this look, I'm going to use colors from the same palette. I feel like that makes it easier for you guys if you have the palette, or you can use similar colors. You don't have to use colors I'm using. But I'm using Jaclyn Hill's palette from Morphe Brushes. I'm going to use this color, then this, then this, then this. I'm just saying that now because I'm not going to keep lifting it up. So this is the first color that I'm going to buff in below my brow. And then I'm using these two colors in the crease and this one on the lid. So the first light brown matte color I'm going to use, the one I just showed you. I'm going to use a blending brush to buff that underneath my brow area and kind of into the crease. Now that I have that buffed in, this is going to be really quick because I really don't have time to do my makeup right now. I'm going to go into the other two colors that I showed you that were right on top of each other, a matte deep brownish red and a matte purplish color, and I'm mixing those two together, dabbing the brush into both at the same time, and I'm going to buff that into my crease. Not being perfect, just, kind of adding some depth to my crease. I'm going to buff in that light shimmery purple shade onto my lid area because it matches the glitter that I'm going to use. and it's like a whimsical purple. It's really pretty. Now, I don't discriminate for the seasons. I can really wear like light, dark colors all year round when it comes to my makeup. But, you know, if you're a stickler for that kind of stuff, you can always make this look more fall. Even with this lid color, if you like darken the crease a little bit more and, you know, smoke it out in the lash line. So you can make it work. I'm not really sure if I'm going to do that. I haven't figured it out yet, but you know, otherwise, who cares? If it's about to be fall, then you're looking like winter wonderland. So once I have those two colors on my lid, I'm going to go right into the glitter. I am using Kandy Cosmetics. Let me see if this has a label. Gumdrop. This is one of my favorite purple glitters. It's actually called a sugar for their brand. And I'm applying it with Motives Cosmetics glitter adhesive, and I'm dipping like this little small brush into the adhesive and tapping the glitter onto my lid. I didn't want to pack on the glitter, which is why I'm using a small brush. Getting rid of some of the clumps and the bumps, and now I'm done with that. And now I'm going to move on to my highlight and contour. I know a lot of people don't highlight and contour like with every look and every day, but I do. It just makes me more comfortable. I like the way it looks overall, so it's something that I do every day. For this look, I'm going to highlight and contour as I do normally. This is MAC's Pro Long Wear Concealer. I'm telling you, there's a way to do this fast. It looks like a lot of work, but when you've done it like a gajillion times, I think it's pretty easy. So I'm blending it in. I'm using the bottom just to speed up the process. I'm going up the sides of my nose just a little bit so that it blends into my contour. When I add that, you don't want to like stop right here or you'll have like a line. You kind of want to go up on the sides of your nose just a little bit. Now I'm using my Buttercup Sasha powder, and I'm not going to let this cook. I'm just going to press it into the skin, underneath the eyes, down the nose, and the forehead. Then I moved on to the contour, chiseled out the areas that I wanted to detract light. You guys know the drill when it comes to highlighting, contouring by now. And after I got my contour in place, I buffed it out a little bit with Hair Makeup Addiction's contour brush before going in with chiseling brush and blending out my contour. And after I get that nice and blended out, I'm going to add my Laura Mercier translucent powder. I'm adding it underneath the eyes. And I am going to let it cook underneath my contour to bring it out a little bit more. Let it cook under my eyes and on my contour for about a minute or so. I don't like to let it cook too long because it does leave a little bit of a frosty tint. So I just let it cook for a little bit. Then I go in with my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Dark. And I'm going to try this brush. I just got it and it looks cool. So I'm going to use it. It's from Artist. I think it's called Artist or Artiste. And I'm going to put it on my Mineralized Skin Finish in Dark and brush away this translucent powder. When I got this in the mail, I felt it. If you follow me on Snapchat, it was really soft. And so I want to see if it just makes a difference. Probably not, but you know. Well, actually, it's kind of blending in my powder a little bit easier than with my normal powder brush. Like normally I have to keep going over like with my brush, like sweeping it on because it's a little bit fluffier, but this one is a little bit more dense and it's soft, so I'm only having to go over these areas one time, which, you know, is different. So this probably will be getting some use. I didn't think it was going to make a difference, but you know, interesting. Okay. Now I'm just adding some blush to the apples of my cheek, and I'm going to add my highlighter next. This is a new highlighter that I'm using. It's called Peach Nectar. It's by Anastasia Beverly Hills. And I'm going to use the brush that came in the package sent with these highlighters and tap that, tap that on the tops of my cheeks. And of course a little bit on my nose. So now I'm going to finish up the eyes. I'm adding this polished Inner Rare brightener from Sigma. It's kind of like a peachy nude color, which is the only color I dare put in my waterline. Like every time I do white, I'm like, why did you do white? you need peach or nude. At least that looks the best to me for my skin complexion. So I'm just gonna add this to my waterline, and then I'm going under the liner very carefully with this flat angle brush that I use for my brows, and that dark matte purplish color that I use to mix into my crease. I'm lining directly on my lash line right below the peachy nude on my waterline. And once I get that lined on both eyes, I'm going to smudge it out a little bit with this smudging brush. Now I'm using black liner at the top. This is NYX Gel Liner, and I am using Morphe's M250-1 brush. So once I have it lined on the lid, I am just going to create my wang. Now finally for my lashes and mascara. For my lashes, I'm using Noir Fairy from House of Lashes. They look like this. Make sure if you already used the lashes, like if you're reusing lashes, it's always a good idea to get a little bit of alcohol on a Q-tip and just go over them. Trust me. Trust me. Do that every time. And you definitely want to be careful adding your mascara to the bottom because you don't want the mascara wand to touch your waterline and get on that nice peachy nude color you have there if you decided to use that. So I'm kind of sweeping it onto my lashes. Now onto my big old lips. I just decided to use Cashmere by Lime Crime and this ColourPop pencil in BFF3. Don't know how this is going to turn out, but hopefully it's cute. I'm just lining my lips with the pencil first, heavily. I always like to line heavily in the outer corners, especially when I do ombres. It's just what I think I'm going to do for this look. And once I outline my lips and get it a little darker in the corner, I'm going to add Cashmere with a lip brush. So this is the final look, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Super easy, quick, and fast using all one palette. I probably did this makeup in about 45 minutes, I promise you. That's all I had. But like I said, show me what you guys want to see next in the comments. And as always, thank you so much for watching and subscribing. Yeah, you heard that. Until next time, mwah!